One of the biggest talking points of the ALP conference over the weekend, of course, was gay marriage. Just in case you're at the beach all weekend, Labor changed its party platform to support gay marriage, but also voted for a conscience vote in the Parliament, which, well, in many ways will mean that nothing will change when it comes to the law. It's very, very unlikely that anything will change in relation to the law. It's an outcome being celebrated by some on both sides of the debate, but also being criticised by some on both sides of the debate. And one of the most critical has been the Australian Christian Lobby, which has warned that Labor could lose several key seats as a result of this decision. The President, Jim Wallace, joins me now. Thanks for your time,
How do you
Jim.
do, David? Good to see you.
Look, what do you think will be the implications for Labor as a result of this change to the platform?
Well, I think everybody knows that the best Labor can hope for at the next election on the current polls is a close election, But here they have absolutely annoyed, aggravated, perhaps 15 to 20% of the population who hold this issue of gay marriage very deeply for religious or cultural reasons. So that's going to play out badly for them, I'm sure.
Which seats in particular?
Well, if you look at the the petition we did, then you find that already in, for instance, in Moreton in Queensland, in the seats in Western Sydney and New South Wales there, certainly down in Deakin and Corangamite down in Victoria, that there are already enough signatures on that petition to actually change who holds the seat. And these are all Labor marginal seats. Greenway is the one in New South Wales.
Mm. And will the Australian Christian Lobby, will you campaign against Labor as a result of this?
Look, we'll be doing as we always do, and we'll be presenting where parties stand on things, but we're certainly going to show where the two parties stand on this. And it is now a clear differentiation. We have one party that says their policy is that any two people can get married, and the other that says that their policy is that marriage is between a man and a woman. And we'll also be pointing out to people that this is a break of a very clearly given election promise. I mean, if the Labor conference is about setting the platform for the next election, then you would expect during the remainder of this parliament, if this comes up in the parliament, which clearly it's going to, that Labor would vote against it as a party if it maintained its integrity on what it told electors and voters before the last election.
For strict Christians, how does that, as you describe it, broken promise compared to the carbon tax broken promise, would you say?
Well, I think it's another one. There are a lot of Christians, I think most, who care very much about climate change, and so they'll probably fall on different sides of the fence on that particular one. But certainly on this one, I mean, it was a promise given to me in person, and I sent it out along to the Christian constituency. I almost feel like I'm complicit in this, because we had 47,000 hits on that site, or visits, sorry, not hits, visits to that site in just 2 weeks at one stage. So clearly people look at it, they heard what she had to say, and they would have taken some confidence in it.
Would you spend any money to point this out to your members?
Well, we
advertising campaigns?
Yeah, no, well, we'll yet determine that, but my preference would be to do what we do every time, and certainly last time we sent our material out, to some 5,000 churches, Now, these are big churches. And we also have the website, so I'm sure nobody's going to be in any doubt that Labor has, first of all, broken an election promise very clearly given, and secondly, that it now is clearly differentiated from the coalition in that it says marriage is between any two people.
Mm. And what is it about this that annoys people the most? The actual changes. Obviously, the people on the other side of the debate are pushing for equality. Why deny them that?
Yeah. Now, look, it's not an issue of that at all. There are consequences for these sorts of decisions. And we have already seen consequences of this very aggressive homosexual agenda, which have included, for instance, that children should be able to be got by even a single man through surrogacy. Now, these are sort of consequences that also come about from something like giving marriage. We know that wherever this has happened over the world, one of the consequences for the church is that activists have started to pursue the church to make sure that they can get married in a church regardless of what the law says, that individual Christians, have been pressured in the same way.
Okay, well, I do want to continue the discussion. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but Jim Wallace, thank you very much.
Thanks very much,
for that.
David.
And thanks for your company on Lunchtime Agenda today. Kieran Gilbert will have PM Agenda at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Thanks for watching.